Good morning, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 21st of May. It is a Wednesday. Hoping everything moves very solidly today for everyone. Had a rough night, tossed and turned a bit last night. Don't know why, but whatever. I'm here. It's early. So this is the Plan Your Trade video for Wednesday, the 21st. And what we're going to do right now is go over the patterns. We are looking at a inside breakaway in a trending mode. Now we are in bullish trending. We are in weekly upward bias, daily downward bias. I have been warning that the markets could move into a rollover. I did a big excuse me. I did a big video yesterday about Bitcoin sets up a massive double topping pattern, warning that we might be moving into a rollover type of a top pattern near the end of this month, early June. And what I believe we're looking at here is the potential to move kind of into a range. So let me set this up here. We could move up into this area, maybe a little higher, rolling through June. Try to redraw that into early June, late May. Oop. So we could move up kind of into this area into early June, or we could roll down into this consolidation in June over the next, call it 4, 5, 10 days, and try to pick a color that will work. Let's try white. So where I'm at again, folks, is this range that I've drawn here in red. I think this range here is going to be a pretty solid kind of a topping range. We'll see. But we could still get a push to the upside if Bitcoin really makes a move or rallies. And if the markets make a move and rally, you can see we're off just a little bit today, about 0.5% or 1/3% on the SPY. I am looking at this resistance area right here, this support resistance gap, as a logical kind of an anchor drawing the market downward, potentially into this breakdown move. But it's going to have to take something, fairly dramatic for the markets to kind of give up here. I do see that the markets are going to, right now, very toppy. I see traders pulling out of the market, anchoring in positions, trying to move, away from risk up at this area. And, the most logical thing that could happen is some sort of a financial event, maybe Japan, maybe China, or as I was reading today, that China and the US are still trying to battle out the trade and tariff deals. So, if that were to fall apart now or in the next week or so, we could see the markets move right back down into this 550 area. And this 550 area is a pretty solid level, in my opinion. So I'll put this here. Whoops. This 550 area, in my opinion, is pretty solid as far as a target level to the downside. I think that's a pretty easy downward target. It's about 50% of this total move, puts us right in this 550, 551 area, closes this gap and moves down into this support level right over in this area. So we shall see. Today's inside breakaway is, like I said, a little mixed as far as the trending. Because we're still bullish generally, I would say that, we could see a breakaway to the upside. But as I mentioned to you, we could at this point roll around kind of a widening topping pattern between this white level and this white level. So be aware that, we could get some volatility up in this area. We're still in that big consolidated range, and we haven't really kind of broken out of it yet. We're seeing some real stalling. QQQ, same type of scenario. I would say that we're stalling up in this area, and we could move into kind of a consolidated range like this, or potentially down into this area, meaning that we could kind of roll into this broadening window here, kind of this area here. I think that would be very common right now. I think that would be kind of like we saw back over here with the volatility. Up near these topping patterns, we can get some real volatile sideways types of action. We might see that same type of action here a bit before we decide what we're going to do. Ultimately, I think we do break down, but we'll see. I mean, I've been telling you that for weeks, but we're still in a bullish trend. So do not discount the fact that we're still in a bullish trend. Okay, gold and silver moved overnight quite nicely. This is a 4-hour chart. Drag this kind of down out of the way. How did I do that? And move to existing pane. There we go. I must have drugged that somehow last night. Didn't realize I did. So we've had this nice little move up overnight. Gold's up almost 0.8% overnight. 33.11. That's that magic number, that 3,300 area right here. Basically, that's that what I call support level. Same thing here, 33 in silver. This is again a 4-hour chart as well. Silver's rallied a little bit higher than, I don't want to say gold, but it's had a nice little rally here. Now we've got this same resistance channel kind of coming right across here with silver, kind of right across this level, giving us a resistance channel. And gold is struggling to come back up and fill this gap right up here. I think we're going to see a pretty good move to the upside continue today. I would hope so. And we shall see how this goes. So the gold cycle pattern is a momentum rally in counter trend mode. You can see we're in bearish, explosive, started accumulating on a short-term trend. I would say the counter trend mode to the bearish direction would mean to the upside. We'll see how it plays out. Again, the markets with an inside breakaway on the SPY could be, rolling downward, maybe rolling upward. We need to see how this moves. So we're at 517.03. Really that 514 area would be your breakdown level. This is on the QQQ. Let me go to the SPY. So if I had a breakdown level to tell you to watch, it would be 587, call it 587.80. And if I had a breakaway level to tell you to watch, it would be up here, 595, 596. Those would be the two levels that I would be really cautious of for a breakaway to the upside, or a breakdown below 587.80 could be a downward trend. Okay, Bitcoin still setting up that major potential topping pattern, very flat, down 104 right now. I highlighted that in the video. Please go take a look at this video. The warning, Bitcoin sets up massive top. The way I see it is we've got, a little bit of time here out into this area right here, June 5th through 9th, 10th. This is daily, and that could be our topping pattern right over in this area. Now, I believe we could see Bitcoin rally up a little bit and then roll downward, but we'll see how this plays out. I think that we're very close to some type of event that's going to maybe disrupt the markets a bit and send us back downward. But again, do not fight the trend. Right now, the trend is bullish, and we'll continue to see it move higher. Now, I'm going to come over here and take a look at the crash index. This is my wonderful, famous crash index. All of you guys know about it. I've shared it many times before. This is the pattern or the symbol for the crash index. You see right here, that's the symbol if you want to get it on your own. Now I'm using a super trend indicator right here, set to 10 and 3. We've gone back into bullish trending. You can see this is daily. We've kind of moved down below this threshold. I need you to understand that when you start looking at these deep lows, and for example, this deep low here and this deep low here, you can see that, you know, basically we get kind of below this level. Let's call it right here on the crash index, and we are moving into downward trending. And again, we would have to take a look at regression channels as well. So, you know, from back over here in this area, we have a regression channel moving downward. And as you can see from, you know, from obviously from this low on up, we're moving higher. But once we start moving into a kind of a rolling regression channel from peaks and to breakdowns here, you can see the breakdown trend. And then you can see from here as we start to move up, we start to get in an upward trend. So we're kind of breaking this trend right now. We're in this downward trend. Right now, we're up at this top. It would not be too surprising, in my opinion, for the markets to stall up in this area and break back downward here, and possibly prompting a move like this in the SPY. We'll see what happens, though. Okay, as far as the crash index goes, the crash index is fairly flat right now. Spread this out. Fairly flat right now, kind of stalling out over here near this upper standard deviation channel. And like I said, we're just above what I would be considered that bearish move. It really popped right here. This was the breakaway move, setting up kind of an island move right here. We'll have to see if this holds. So really, if this level, 574, call it 75, if that level breaks down on the SPY, we could be looking at a very strong downward trend in this area. So we'll see how it holds up, guys. Okay, that's it. Like I said, I'm going to keep this short and sweet today. Remember to check out my videos. I've got a ton of videos out here. I'm sure you guys are following along and paying attention, but check out this Bitcoin video. It's very interesting how this setup is playing out right now. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Talk to you later.